There is no credible information or evidence suggesting that Mother Teresa made any dramatic confessions or revealed any terrifying secrets before her death. Mother Teresa, born Angeles Bojaxiu in 1910, was an Albanian Indian Roman Catholic nun and missionary who dedicated her life to serving the poorest of the poor. She founded the Missionaries of Charity in Kolkata, India in 1950, and her work earned her global recognition, including the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979. Mother Teresa's life was marked by her deep commitment to her faith and her humanitarian efforts rather than by any sensational revelations. Towards the end of her life, she faced health challenges, including heart problems, but she continued her mission as long as she could. She passed away on September 5, 1997, at the age of 87. After her death, some personal writings were revealed that showed Mother Teresa experienced periods of spiritual darkness and doubt. These writings, published posthumously, are often misinterpreted as a shocking revelation or a terrifying secret, but they reflect a well-known aspect of Christian mysticism called the dark night of the soul. This phenomenon is a spiritual crisis in a journey toward union with God, marked by feelings of abandonment by God, and is not uncommon among deeply religious individuals. Mother Teresa's personal struggle with faith and doubt was not a secret meant to shock the world but rather a deeply personal spiritual journey that underscored her humanity. These letters were never intended for public consumption, they were private communications with her spiritual advisors. Far from diminishing her legacy, many view her honesty about these struggles as an example of her resilience and the depth of her faith. Her life and work continue to inspire millions around the world. She was canonized as Saint Teresa of Kolkata by the Catholic Church in 2016, confirming her legacy as one of the most admired and beloved figures in modern history. There are often sensationalized stories or conspiracy theories surrounding famous figures like Mother Teresa, but it is essential to rely on credible sources and factual information. The true story of Mother Teresa's life is one of devotion, service, and profound human compassion with no terrifying secrets revealed at the end. Mother Teresa's life and legacy are rooted in her unwavering commitment to the poor, sick, and dying. She spent nearly 5 decades serving those in need through her Missionaries of Charity, an organization that grew to have thousands of members working in over 130 countries, running hospices, homes for people with HIV, AIDS, leprosy, tuberculosis, soup kitchens, dispensaries, and mobile clinics. Her work was driven by her profound belief in seeing Christ in every person she served, and she emphasized the importance of loving and caring for those whom society often overlooked. Despite her saintly image, Mother Teresa's life was not without controversy. Some critics questioned the quality of care in her facilities, pointing to inadequate medical attention, poor hygiene, and an emphasis on the virtues of suffering rather than alleviating it. Others scrutinized her financial transparency, given the large donations her organization received. Mother Teresa, however, remained steadfast in her mission, focusing on providing dignity and love to those on the margins of society. She believed that the purpose of her work was not just about alleviating physical suffering but about addressing a deeper spiritual hunger. One of the most profound aspects of her spiritual journey, as revealed after her death, was her long-lasting experience of spiritual desolation, often described as a dark night of the soul. For nearly 50 years, Mother Teresa felt a sense of spiritual emptiness and a lack of connection with God. In her private letters to her spiritual confessors and advisors, she described this experience as a profound inner pain. She felt as if God had abandoned her, a feeling that persisted even as she continued to be a symbol of faith and charity to the world. These letters, compiled and published in the book Mother Teresa, Come Be My Light, revealed the depth of her inner struggle. Far from a secret intended to shake the world, these writings highlighted the complexity of her faith journey. They showcased a woman who, despite feeling abandoned by God, continued to serve with unrelenting dedication. Her willingness to persist in her mission without the consolation of spiritual fulfillment has been interpreted by many as a testament to her extraordinary faith and resilience. Mother Teresa's candid admissions of doubt and spiritual dryness were not admissions of a hidden life or a terrifying secret, but rather an open window into the trials faced by even the most devout individuals. Her letters show her as a deeply human figure who grappled with the same questions and struggles that many believers face. The authenticity of her experience resonated with many, painting her not just as a saintly figure but as someone whose faith was tested and ultimately deepened through her trials. Even in her struggles, Mother Teresa's public persona remained one of hope and love. She continued to encourage those around her, lead her order, and inspire countless others through her words and actions. She taught by example that faith is not always about feeling God's presence but sometimes about acting with love and commitment, even in the face of spiritual desolation. Mother Teresa's death in 1997 marked the end of an era, but her legacy continues through the ongoing work of the missionaries of charity and the inspiration she provided to millions around the world. Her canonization as a saint was not just a recognition of her good works but also of her complex and profound spiritual journey. It acknowledged the full picture of a woman who, despite personal and spiritual challenges, remained a beacon of compassion, service, and unshakable faith. Mother Teresa's approach was hands-on. She often tended to the sick and dying herself, embodying the philosophy that no one should die without feeling loved. Mother Teresa's compassion was matched by her iron will. She navigated the complexities of working in an impoverished city, often with limited resources, and faced bureaucratic and societal challenges. Her ability to mobilize resources, attract volunteers, and inspire donations from around the world allowed her organization to expand its reach. However, her methods were not without criticism. Some accused her of prioritizing religious conversion over medical care, while others argued that her glorification of suffering was counterproductive to alleviating it. Yet, she remained undeterred, driven by a vision that transcended the conventional measures of success. A deeply private aspect of Mother Teresa's life was her internal struggle with faith, which became known to the world through her posthumously published letters. These writings reveal that for much of her life, she did not feel the presence of God, experiencing what she described as spiritual dryness, loneliness, and even doubt. This dark night of the soul lasted almost continuously after she began her work with the poor. She wrote of feeling abandoned and rejected by God. Yet, paradoxically, this experience deepened her compassion for those she served. She saw her suffering as a way to share in the pain of those she helped, believing that her trials allowed her to connect more profoundly with the marginalized. These revelations have prompted varied reactions. Some viewed them as evidence of her heroic virtue, that she continued her work despite such profound personal struggles. Others interpreted them as a more complex picture of her spirituality, one that included significant doubt and uncertainty. Far from diminishing her, these insights into her spiritual life have painted a portrait of resilience and faithfulness. They illustrate that Mother Teresa's strength was not in a lack of doubt but in her determination to keep faith and serve despite it.